It's not a secret that the NBA this season has took an exponential increase when it comes to scoring. Donovan Mitchell, 71-point game. Luka Doncic, 60-point triple-double. LeBron James, 38 years old, dropping 48 points. Giannis, career high, 55. Joel Embiid, 50-point game. Jason Tatum, 50-point game. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, multiple 40-point games, is getting out of hand. And I have this stat in front of me. The most 40-point games at this point of a season, January 16th, 2023, MLK Day. We have seen NBA players put up 40 points 104 times. The second highest was 2018-2019 season with 75 times. So 104 times we have seen NBA players score 40 points. That is insane to think about. Insane. Welcome to the Daily Thinker, where we talk about theology and basketball. Today, we will be talking about the NBA scoring. Scoring in the NBA, it's getting out of hand, man. It's crazy. NBA players have scored 40 points 104 times. Okay, I had to just stop with this little intro stuff because I've never seen a season like this ever in my life. This is a historic season that we're watching. And when I look at comments on Instagram, Twitter, and I see people say that 40-point games, they don't mean much. It's scoring 20. And a 50-point game is like scoring 30. They devalue the 40 and the 50-point games nowadays. There's still a lot of value on that 60 and on that 70-point game, but once you're scoring 40 and 50, we just look at it like, he's supposed to do that. Are we expecting so much from these NBA players nowadays, like Giannis, Luka? I look up, I see Giannis drop 48, 7 and 8. I'm like, oh, that's just a Giannis night. Are we expecting these type of nights from these NBA players nowadays? The Lukas, the LeBrons, Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, Giannis, Joel Embiid. Are we expecting them to put up these astronomical numbers every single time they step on the court? And if they don't, they had a bad game. Because this is insane to think about. 104 times NBA players have scored 40 points. Just 10 years ago, that's not that long. 2013, we only had 5 players averaging 25 points per game. This NBA season so far, we have 16 individuals that's averaging 25 plus a game. Now, are the players just much better? We have more talent in the NBA? I think so. I really do think that we have more talent in the NBA right now than we did in 2013. And that's no knock on 2013. I grew up in that era watching basketball in high school. That Miami Heat team, that Spurs team, OKC team, seeing Golden State come up in the 2015, 2016. Like I was around during that time. Like I'm not talking about Jordan now, somebody I did not watch. But I don't think the skills have increased that much, like over the past 2 years, to jump from 104 to 75. In what, 2, 3, 4 years? I don't expect that. 2020 was 62. And right now, 3 years later, 5 years later, we see it happen 104 times. NBA players are putting up 40 points. It's insane. It's incredible. But I want to appreciate this moment, appreciate this season, because this will be an historic season. So far, it's been a good one. It's been a great one. And when players put up these type of numbers, we still complain. We still call the NBA soft. We still say, hey, only reason they do this because they don't call fouls. They let the lane is wide open. They shoot threes. But then if you don't shoot three, they're like, hey, why are you not shooting threes? See, I don't know the reasoning, the logic behind all this. You don't want anybody to take any threes. Oh, they're taking too many threes. I want to see more mid-post, mid-range game where everybody's not accustomed to shooting mid-range at an elite level. I remember Jason Tatum taking a lot of mid-range shots doing his second, third season and him not making a lot of them, missing a lot of them. He's more efficient when he gets to that mid range when he needs to, and not try to force those long twos instead of taking a 3-point shot. And no, I'm not an analytic guy. Just say, hey, threes and layups. I'm not on there. I love the mid range. The midi is well and alive. DeMar DeRozan, Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, and a bunch of other players are shooting the mid range right now in the NBA. So players are still using the mid-range, and it's definitely effective. When you're down and you need to hit a shot, give it to somebody who can get to that midi and make it happen. And right now you have 5 players averaging 30 points a game. 10 years ago, we had 5 players averaging 25 points a game. This season, we have 5 players averaging 30 points a game, and 2 players that are on the outside looking in. LeBron James and Kevin Durant are both at 29.7 points per game this season. So they might be there at the end of the season, averaging 30 a game. Who knows? But this is incredible. We need to appreciate what's going on in the NBA right now and not try to just look down on it and hate on it and say, I want to see more basketball that's slowed down, methodical, half-court offense, just 90 points, 100 points a game. And this notion that players were putting up 90 points or 100 points a game, we didn't 98 a game, 88 a game. That wasn't the case, dog. Go look at those stats. It was not the case at all. So I don't want to take this for granted. When I look at Giannis and I see that he had 55 points, I just say, just chalk it up to the win. I look at LeBron at the age of 38, putting up 48 points. I'm like, okay, he's supposed to do that. See a young guy like Luka Doncic at the age of 23, even though he dominates the basketball, just like Harden dominated the basketball. Those two are very similar. They are similar. I don't compare him to a LeBron James. I compare him more to a James Harden who has the ball in his hand a lot, and he's able to operate the offense and everything runs through him. So he's more like a James Harden. He's putting up crazy numbers, averaging 33 points per game. So we are seeing some of the best basketball right now. And I know people say pure basketball is dead. I'm like, what's the definition of pure? Who defined what pure basketball and non-pure basketball is? If players are sticking to the rules, it's pure basketball, because there's not no objective term of what pure basketball is. But I'm excited. I'm loving this season so far. The MVP race right now, I don't know who will be MVP. I had Luka coming into the season when I did the review, but Jason Tatum is closing in real quickly. And I think Jason Tatum can make a good argument if he stays on this pace to be the MVP, because, hey, he's the best player on the best team, so he should win MVP. That's how Jokic end up getting it. Let's just say best player on the best team or one of the best teams. That's how players end up getting the MVP. But this season has just been insane. Just think about that, man. 10 years ago, we only had 5 players averaging 30 points. 5 players averaging 25 points, but this year we have 5 players averaging 30 and 16 averaging 25. And the talent is better. I just take this for example. Jaylen Brown, who's an elite player. I think you put him back in 2013, 2014, right now with the same skill set, he'll be maybe a top 10, top 8 player, maybe. But right now, I don't even know if I can put him in top 15, top 12, maybe so. It's a lot of talent in the NBA right now. It is. Y'all let me know in the comments below. Do you appreciate what's going on in the NBA, what's happening in the NBA right now with players putting up astronomical numbers and playing amazing? Or do you want to see less of this and more of a slowed down version of basketball, methodical, where they take their time, a lot of half-court sets, and not up and down shooting threes and shooting 43s a game? Do you appreciate this product that you're seeing? Or if we go back to the whole ways, 2013, 2012, 2010, let me say, will you appreciate that more? Let me know in the comments below.